Today we're going to install a shelf here in the garage at the computer desk. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to go right around there. And this shelf will house the printer and a couple of other miscellaneous items, maybe a pencil sharpener, maybe an electric stapler, perhaps a cordless phone. But this is the piece of wood that we're going to use. This will just sit, we'll use this seam there as our guide. Put it there. So all we need to do is we're going to drill a hole in this in the back corner here to put so the wires can pass through, and then to put the brackets on. It should be a very simple build. It's not lining up with this flap, but I think that's not up against the wall correctly. We'll go this way like that. So the hole will go in the back over here. Just mark it before I forget for the umpteenth time. Now we need a pretty big hole, so we're going to use the something I don't use too often, which is this, the Milwaukee hole something or other. I want a good sized hole here so that plugs can pass through. I think that this one is probably good. Yeah, this tool set kind of bothers me because it includes one size Allen key to adjust that, but not the Allen key to adjust that, which is kind of dumb. Put in the bit, and then we turn this to tighten it on the bit. And that part's fine, but now I got to get a second key to adjust the other part. I wonder if I have the right size floating around over here on the table now. No, that's very small. I don't know if this is standard or metric. This is taking way too long. It's metric. It is A2. Okay, all that, so now we can drill the hole. Ah, geez, I should have used the drill press for this. It would have been perfect. Oh well. I'm just going to use this. This thing gets the job done, but it's always a pain in the neck because it always ends up getting stuck in there. Alright, so we've got the hole drilled. Making quite the mess over here. But it's fine. I like the vacuum. We'll clean it up. Okay. Cool. So now let's get the brackets onto the wall here. We're going to have to level them out. And then we'll have to drill in. Oh no. I don't have enough screws for those. I only have 4. Well. Okay. So I can really only put in 2 brackets right now. I guess we'll put in the 2. And if the 2 is not sturdy enough, which I don't think that it will be, then we'll have to go to the store and get more screws. Here are the bits that I need. There's no mouse poop and no bat poop behind there, so that's good. That's a good sign. Alright, so these are the brackets that we're going to use. They're very strong. Quite possible that 2 of them would be fine. I guess let's say worst case scenario, I have to use 4. And I'd only have to use 4 because the shelf is coming out so far and these don't have the support that goes diagonal. So these really are not the best thing to use. But if I put 2 like this, I could add another one here and another one there if I needed to, or I could just start with the 2 on the outsides, which might make more sense, and then I can add either 1 or 2 more on the inside if needed. I think that actually makes more sense. Let's do it that way. So we're going to start with a hole here and a hole here. Tough to get this to line up right because the wall is not smooth at all, so trying to start the hole right where I want it is a little difficult. very slowly. These are 1 1/4 inch screws, so we have to go just a little bit more, I guess. Now it's got to go deeper than that. There it goes. Now it's fine. It doesn't look level. 2 holes need to be pretty much level with each other. Huh. Well, I'll be. They're not that far off. Is the wall not level? Oh gosh, no, not even close. Well, right, okay. Okay. Alright, let's see how this works. These screws are some type of hex bit. The hex the size. Just checking the time, the clock is in there now. Try to put as much stuff away as possible so that it doesn't get all dusty. Alright, here we go. Is this all in the frame still? Yep. The screw head is a good size for this, so it'll fit pretty good. I have to use higher torque mode here. No, I can't do this tonight. I guess these holes are not big enough. I think that the next size up is going to be too big. Well, I don't know. I think that the next size up is a little bit too big. Obviously this is too small. Yeah, it didn't even grab, it just busted up the wall. Now we have to hide this damage. So I guess we'll move everything down. We'll try again, like just a little bit off. Like that. I'll try with this bigger bit. Do I have any other? I don't think I have any other concrete bits here. have these. What sizes are these? This is for metal, wood, and plastic. No, not gonna work. Alright. I'll try this bigger one. If this doesn't work, then I'm just gonna have to go back to the store tomorrow and get screws and a matching bit. I mean, I can't complete this anyways now because I only have 3 screws, but I'm just curious if this in theory is going to work or not. That bit is 50 times sharper. Okay, let's see if it wants to go in or not. Actually, that might be the right size. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that's actually the right size. Okay. Cool. I will just use that size then. I have a smaller level inside, but we'll just use this one. That's actually perfectly level right there. Did not drill really where I wanted it to, but I don't think it really matters. Jeez, I can't believe I busted up that screw. Oh, that stinks. Well, you know what? It actually might be strong enough. Just with the toe. Do I have any extra concrete screws in here? Highly doubt it. No, I don't see any. Jeez. Oh well. It's getting late anyways. It's already 10:57. It's time to go to sleep. Let me just get this second bracket in here and then I will check out for the night. We might have to adjust the bend on this because that's not perfectly level. And we don't need the shelf to be. Oh wow, that's actually quite strong. It's a good bracket. I don't want the shelf to be leaning forward because of something stupid. So that's perfectly level right there. Was working good. I guess the bit must have just worn out. Holes are not really lined up properly. That's kind of unfortunate. Well, I did the best I could. I wonder what happens if you put a non-concrete screw into concrete. What's the worst that can happen? The shelf just falls? I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. Well, that screw's too small anyways. Alright, so we're at a stopping point now. I think that we're going to have a problem with this because the holes really are not quite correct. Needs to go up to about there. And it's nowhere near there. That stinks. I don't think I can re-drill it, it's too close. Could just move everything over a notch, I suppose. Or I could use the middle instead. And then that's like, it's visibly crooked now. It's got to go up almost a 1/4 inch. Yeah, that's not going to work. I gotta redo that. If the camera runs out of charge during this segment, I'm not going to go replace the battery. We'll just call it there, and I'll pick back up in, I guess I'll just throw the clips together. I'll pick it back up when I've got more screws to work with. It's the next day. We're back from the store and picked up everything that we should need to finish this task. So we're going to need some small screws to attach the wood to the brackets, and then we're going to need more what are these called? Concrete screws. Now, I'm just noticing that these are not the same. I was looking at 3/16 and 1 1/4. This was a star bit, and this is actually it's probably a 1 1/4, which is, I would prefer that. I just don't know if the hole size is going to need to be different. I guess not, because 3/16 should be the same, so it's probably fine. Alright, so yesterday, shortly after the video, I noticed that I did a goof, and I put this bracket over here, and I blocked the hole, so I had to move that bracket over. I also tested it. I put this clamp on here to kind of simulate it being screwed to the bracket, and I threw the printer up here and it was totally fine. I'm still going to add the additional 2 brackets because I bought the stuff and it can only benefit to have it stronger, but it will definitely be strong enough. And before we go any further, I'm going to put the bag down because I didn't realize, or maybe I just didn't care, that this dust is all falling behind there, which is, I can't really clean that out. It also got all in the power bar and everything, so I'm going to put this here and try to cover this up so I don't have that going on anymore. I'm going to have to clean out the power bar now. That's lovely. I don't know if the tape is going to stick to this wall or not. I guess it is. I'm a little surprised that it's sticking. Okay, so now we can continue drilling and not end up with the dust all going behind there. Should have done that from the start, but oh well, I didn't. Okay, so I got enough screws to add 3 screws per bracket, so we'll go ahead and drill out the holes in the bracket that we have, the 2 that we have installed. Then we'll add the 2 additional ones. So it just went all the way through, and that proves that that block is hollow as well. So the whole wall is like that. Going to put the bit into this other drill. Actually, we can compare the 2 with this busted one, and it does appear to be the same, which would make sense. This bit set stinks. It always has and always will. But I'll keep using it because it's the one that I have. Okay, so the other ones are a lot better. I like the old ones better. They look nicer too because it sits in there flat. Why the heck is it doing that? It's like not a good fit. That's stupid. Just try a basic flathead screwdriver maybe. I guess they're on there. See, the other ones, that just looks so much better with the other ones, but this is, I guess, what they make now. Those things aren't that old, but for maybe a year old, I don't know. Don't remember. Actually, no, they're not that old at all. I just bought those when I did the door. They're a different store, though. This really does look so much nicer with the hex heads. Well, I'm going to just put it together like this because I can't have the garage in such disarray all the time. And if I really am bothered by it in the coming weeks, I'll just buy new screws and replace them. It seems like it's working a lot better than it was yesterday. It's kind of weird. These screws stink. Oh well. Thought it was the same thing. I didn't even realize that the bits were different. I think I'll go at 3. I mean, we could do 4, but it's a bit excessive. Just a little printer that's going to be on here, nothing crazy. I think that should be enough. Well, I have enough of them. I might as well just put them all on. it's working like it was yesterday. Which is very poorly. That might be enough. Is it better to use the flat bit? I don't know. Maybe it is. Now, the hole is drilled deep enough. The flat bit's even worse. that should not be happening with a standard 1/4 inch thing. These screws are, something's not designed very well about them at all. That's terrible. I can't even get enough. It just slips right out. That's awful. I can't imagine that it's the bit on the screwdriver, but I'm gonna try a different bit. Try a ratchet, 1/4 inch ratchet. Let's see if this gives us the same results. Expect it will. Let's see. Oh, it's not giving us the same results. Well, I did say before that bit set stinks, but the bits themselves is not the problem, it's the case. This is interesting now. Okay, so this is working to tighten the screws. I guess the screws aren't so bad, it's the stupid bit set. The bit set bites. Well, I'll just have to tighten everything with this. It's a touch ridiculous, but it's working. Well, alright, so it's not perfect, but it's working better. Or maybe that bit set stripped these out a little bit. I don't know. Where's the other stinking screws? Oh, come on. Here he is. Oh, you know what? It says it right there. New. Underhead ribs. Resist spinouts. So it is new. These did just change. I bet they're the same way at the other store. That bites. You know, I'll just do it with the ratchet. This is wrecking the heads, I think. Definitely works better with the ratchet. Yeah, that totally was stripping it out. Okay. So now I'm going to bend these up to make them level. Alright, that seems pretty good. That's showing it's perfectly level. A little bit more power out of my ceiling fans here. It's getting warm. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to connect the board to the brackets. So I bought these screws. These are 7/16 inches or 1.11 centimeters, which is the much more logical measurement. Fine threaded screws, and there's 353 of them in here, or 1 pound. This is what they look like. We have to have them this short because it can't pass through the top, otherwise it'll be a useless shelf. So with the bracket, probably going to go about 75% of the way through, which is pretty reasonable. So I don't know if these will go in without pre-drilling holes. I'm going to give it a shot because otherwise I gotta drill 12 holes. I got bits all over the place here. I gotta really need to take a break and clean everything up. These are supposed to be number 2 Phillips, so this should fit it. It does. Alright, let's see if it splits the wood. Move that over all the way. Actually, you know what we could do to kind of cheat here is, I'd like it to be flat up against the wall of the shelf here, the cabinet. I can let it start to come away from the building a little bit in the back and be flat up against the cabinet like that. I like that better. Alright, let's see if it splits the wood. It didn't split the wood. But we have a worse problem. The screws, the screw heads are so small that they pass right through the holes in the brackets. I'm gonna need some washers. I didn't even think about that when I bought the screws. Fortunately, I have some washers here which I believe will solve the problem. Of course, there's something else in there that doesn't belong in there. We need 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's enough. Alright, these should solve the problem. This shelf really does not want to get built. That's too bad. It doesn't have an option. It's getting built and it's going to be a great shelf. I'm not sure that these screws are going to grab the board strong enough. We'll have to see what happens. I guess they're grabbing pretty good. Grab it all. Because the problem is this is going to want to pull forwards. I might have to, what I might have to do is I might have to put like maybe a 1x1 underneath here and screw from the top down into the bottom to hold this, to hold it on. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. This is just a hair too short too, that stinks. Because, well, I have a longer one. Because we're going to have to, or I could use a 2x4, but that might be a little bit excessive. Because the thing with this shelf is that, and this is different than most of the other ones I've designed, the weight is going to pull up from the back. And so the back needs to be very secure where the shelf mounts to it. And we don't have that right now at all. Those little screws, if it was a non-weight bearing situation, would be fine. But in this situation, it's not fine. So we might have to put this here, and then we'll screw it in from the top into this. I think that should be fine. I think a 2x4 is just going to look a little bit obnoxious, but let's see. I have one. Here's one. Well, this would allow us to at least grab it twice. The other option is to get nuts and bolts, but I don't have any on hand. I guess we'll just go with the 2x4. It's going to be a lot stronger that way. So I'll need to cut it about here. I'll just mark it. We're just going to cut it inside, I'll cut it right here. It's too late to be running power tools, nor is it necessary to run a power tool just for one quick cut. Well, we're not going to be using the screws for this project, but I'm sure at some point I'll find use for them somewhere else. These screws would have come in handy when I was building the telephone display shelving. Alright, so now what I'm going to have to do is we're going to have to drill holes because we want the screw to be able to spin in the wood of the shelf and grab onto the 2x4, so we'll have to just drill holes. Sound like something just fell. We'll have to drill holes through each hole in the bracket so that we know where to put the screw through. This is not turning out very well, but oh well, sometimes it be like that. Especially if you like that when you use a lot of stuff that you just happen to have on hand, which is the case here. We're gonna need, let's see, should we use these screws? Yeah, we can use these screws, I think. So we need 8 of these. That hangs down enough. That should get a good grab. Thing is not giving me a break. Well, I guess they're not grabbing far enough, because that's not going to work then. Those are, I believe, 1 inch. No, those are 1.5. I think 2 is going to go through. I don't think 2 will work. Let's see. Actually, 2 will not go through. I have to switch to using 2 inch. Someday, some revision, we'll get this right. I like this ceiling fan control so much. Just been slowly ramping it up this whole time as I need it. And it's silent. Great. What a fantastic control. There we go. Okay, I'll switch more of that. I only did 2 so far, it's not a big loss. As long as it doesn't split here, we're good. It didn't split. Alright. That's actually quite strong. Cool. Okay. Got a little amount of dust forming over here. Alright, that was a lot of time and effort for one stinking shelf, but we got it. So, mission accomplished. Alright, now, man, that wiped me out. Now we have to clean up the table, which is a mess. You know what? I just realized that I have the segment from the previous video as well, so this video probably is over an hour and a half in length. So I'm going to close this video now, and then I will do another video for cleaning up the area and reinstalling the computer and so forth.